Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. Ooh, look out there, boy. What you got going on there, honey bunchies of O's? Okay, okay. Yeah, that's a good spot. It's a good spot. Okay. So then, Spirit, what is it that... let me just shuffle a couple times, please, and thank you. What is it, the collective energy, Spirit, please, let us get a read on the collective energy. Thanks so much, collective energy. What do we need to know, Spirit? What do we need to know about the collective energy, Spirit? Well, that one just came right out and flipped right upside down there, didn't it? We got ourselves a Seven of Wands in the reverse. Somebody's exhausted. Their confidence has been destroyed and they're feeling overwhelmed. Challenged by Lovers reversed. There's disharmony. They made bad choices. Somebody's got a fear of commitment, indecision. They didn't get the love relationship. There's a misalignment of values. So there's no love relationship there, or there's a breakup. In the subconscious. Whoa, in the subconscious. Come on now, what do I got going on here? Eight of Swords in the upright. So somebody's stuck in their head. They're having negative thoughts regarding this. Feeling restricted. In the recent past, we've got the Hierophant in the upright. Could be the Most High himself here. Looking at the structure, looking at what's been happening in these institutions. Intention and expectation. Seven of Swords. Conflict. So the Hierophant's here about social approval and conformity because they're expecting a betrayal, a theft, a dishonesty, or something. In the near future, Strength in the upright. So if somebody's courage, they got the strength to pull through whatever this is, or to move beyond whatever deception this is. We've got the lens that everybody's looking through. What's the lens that everybody's looking through? We've got the Queen of Swords. Truth, mental clarity, clear-minded, yeah, and perceptive. So in the environment, the Tower. Somebody's getting cut out and they're going through a tower. Yeah, this Queen of Swords is like, she's showing up all strong here. The backing of this Hierophant. The Hierophant might be kicking butt in a strong way on whoever is in this Seven of Wands reversed energy. The Hierophant might be, yeah, the Hierophant's kicking somebody's rear end and denying them this love relationship and restricting them mentally. They're going through a tower. This Queen of Swords, there's like strength here, strength. And this Queen of Swords is setting clear boundaries. Big tower, big towers. And a Ten of Wands in the upright. Extra burdens and the outcome. Spirit, wow, that Wow, man, this one came out and did like 5 somersaults. And it wound up in the upright. 6 of Swords in the upright. So I'm moving on to calmer waters. A transition, a leaving behind, a releasing the baggage. And then you've got on the bottom of the deck, wishful thinking and illusion. So somebody's in an illusion, or there's a lot of wishful thinking, or somebody's daydreaming about their purpose. There could be a lot of choices and opportunities for this high priestess who has gained a victory. Oh, whoa. High priestess, divine feminine, gained a victory. Queen of Swords here, strength. And you've got the Queen of Wands here too, courageous and confident with this Wheel of Fortune. The destined cycle. The wheel turns. The wheel turns. And you've got a Page of Pentacles. So somebody's manifesting love. A Two of Cups. Somebody wants to manifest a working relationship with a partner. And that leaves somebody in a Five of Pentacles and an Eight of Cups. So yeah, now I know that, I could like tell you what this could be, or you could just apply it to your life, however that is. We got the Seven of Wands. Somebody's exhausted, so place yourself, please, wherever need be, and do whatever you need to do with genders. Somebody's exhausted. They want to give up. This Hierophant's here kicking butt, it looks like. Oh, we got the main female here in the central energy too. Somebody's exhausted. They want to give up. They're overwhelmed. They failed. They failed to move against this main female. Is that what's going on here? They didn't get the love relationship. Message of concern, adjudication. Whoever it is, they're getting a message from the courts. They're under adjudication for whatever they did coming against this main female. They didn't get the love relationship, and now they're in court over whatever it was they had going on. And they're exhausted. They want to give up. They're in a Eight of Swords energy, so they're feeling restricted. They're feeling restricted from maybe they can't work. Well, toil and labor is in the upright, but they've got this restriction. They're in a victim mentality because of the work they did. Maybe they're restricted because of the work and the effort they brought against this main female. You got the Hierophant here. Okay, Hierophant. Wisdom, high level commitment. There's no despair. So it's like this Hierophant is here making certain that there's no despair for this person who others were coming against. Somebody didn't want to be in despair. Somebody was trying to get out of despair. It's like they're exhausted. They're giving up. They're in a Seven of Wands reversed. They've been fighting. There's still trickery here. Oh, with a child. Fraud. There's some sort of fraud about a child. They were trying to get away with something. something deceptive regarding a child, something deceptive regarding an innocent person. They were being deceptive and committing fraud against an innocent person. And they're in the court system right now because they weren't able to trap this person into any kind of contract. So everything that has happened is out. It's in the court right now. This Hierophant is here. There's no despair. Those who committed trickery and fraud against this child, this innocent person, well, this innocent person was too strong. There's strength here. Power. Courage. Courage. Now, what am I supposed to do with that? We got poverty here. So somebody's facing poverty because this innocent person was too strong. Is that what's going on? We've got the Queen of Swords here, who could very well be this main female, who's pretty cold. She doesn't really care too much about anything right now other than the truth coming out and, yeah, about this sudden wealth. The truth is coming out, and she's setting clear boundaries regarding this sudden wealth. Cold, clear-minded boundaries. And there's a tower moment happening for somebody. Oh, there's a tower happening for a mature man, for an older man. And he's in a 10 of Wands. There's a lot of burdens on this person right now. Regarding a privileged lady. Or maybe this privileged lady, their hope is that this privileged lady would be in a 10 of Wands. That was their hope. But instead, they got a tower. They were wanting to put this privileged lady into a 10 of Wands burden. And instead, this mature man got himself a tower. Wowee. And we got a 6 of Swords here. It looks like somebody's moving on to calmer waters. Holy moly, all these cards just came crashing out. And it was literally a crash. Like they just crashed into each other. So somebody's moving on to calmer waters. This, whatever this scenario is ending. Somebody's going to be an official person on the distant horizons, or there's an official person divvying out official business regarding the ending of this thievery on the distant horizons. Or the ending of this thief. So there's an official person bringing about an ending for this thief on the distant horizons. And it's fitting that it would be on the outgoing energy. And you have their, this relationship is ending. And you got Lovers on the bottom of the deck. Lovers. The family, there's something in a family room, something what happened in a family room, or whatever business happened in a family room. It's in the courthouse with this main male. And this community is concerned about a change. This wealthy man's getting married, and there's a gift. Huh. They're getting a message about a great fortune, great spiritual inheritance of high honor. This false person is making a journey for the work that they did, whatever that journey is. I know what the indigenous people consider to be a journey, and they're expecting this. Huh. Here's a courtship coming up. Oh, I know it's not for everybody. I mean, not everybody really, I mean, not everybody wants that, Some people have found their groove and their niche and they're steady and good. They're just good. Doing their thing. But you got the lovers here. Love. Love. And you got wishful thinking and choices. All up in the mind. So there's a lot of wishful thinking happening right now. Lots of choices, lots of searching for purpose, lots of daydreaming. Lots of daydreaming. Like this person wasn't able to get a love relationship with this main female. She was too strong. She's this Queen of Swords and she's just bucked up, And so now there's a Tower. It's like everything backfired. Because they couldn't bind her. They didn't bind her. So now there's a lot of thoughts going on about this. I mean, obviously this is out in the open, and so the collective is thinking about it. So they failed. They're exhausted. They failed. Their confidence is destroyed. They failed to come against this main female or to move against this main female. Yeah, they weren't successful. They weren't successful against this main female. They couldn't snare her into a love relationship. And they're getting a message of concern in the courthouse. They're under adjudication. Indecision is in the reverse. And this card says, I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So they could be disconnected from their intuition. They could be challenged because the court is not in a state of indecision. The court knows exactly what they're going to do about this. There's no indecision here. There is a restriction, an 8 of Swords, for the toil and labor that has been done against this main female. Who has, okay, so they're in an 8 of Swords for the toil and labor that they did against this main female. Everything, who was patient and who grew and expanded in consciousness and awareness throughout this process. And she knows that everything happens in divine order. The Hierophant is here, and despair is in the reverse. Guilt. We're going to go ahead and continue clarifying because I don't want to get too far ahead of my... Oh, and envy on the bottom of the deck, man. Yeah, so they're guilty of envying this main female, and they wanted to do what, man? Whatever it is, they're under adjudication. They were being fraudulent and tricky. This person is innocent. So if they were fraudulent and tricky, they could have been filing false information or false documentation, committing fraud against this innocent person, and they're under judgment. They were acting strategically. This was premeditated theft and betrayal on an innocent person. This is an innocent, trusting person. They could have been somebody who was in a position to protect this individual. But instead, they chose to commit fraud and betray this person and try to get away with something tricky, acting strategically. They're under judgment. They're facing poverty because this innocent person was too strong. They're in regret. Friendship. Could have been a friend. Or maybe it's the strength of friendship that's here in the near future. Bringing about this change for this sudden wealth. This Queen of Swords is here, clear-minded and perceptive. Unbiased judgment, justice, independence, setting clear boundaries, coldness, direct, and perceptive regarding this sudden wealth. Somebody's facing poverty for what they did to this innocent person. Ooh, and these just came out and they flipped into the reversed. So you've got this Queen of Swords here who's casting a judgment and delivering justice on behalf of this sudden wealth. This mature man here, so this was a relationship that was not for the higher good, or maybe you didn't even have a relationship with this person because Lovers is here in the reverse. So it's like they weren't even intimately connected to you. They just wanted to destroy you. They weren't your lover. They might have tried to commit fraud and say that they were. That could have been the fraud. Like they may have forged documentation saying that you were their spouse or their lover or whatever in the spiritual court or whatever court, but it's fraudulent. There was no relationship. And they're not disciplined. They lack discipline. So they're in a tower. This mature man is in a tower. There's a sudden change. Humor is here. We've got a Ten of Wands here. It's like the hope was that they could put this privileged lady into a Ten of Wands. They might have thought it was funny. There's a completion here. Or maybe this is a completion of the burden that this privileged lady has to carry. It's done. The burden is over. The hard work, the being overloaded, carrying too much stress, and having to keep going despite it all. There's an end in sight and a completion for this privileged lady. This mature man is in a tower. There's humor here. I don't know who it is that's thinking that's funny, but we're going to go ahead and clarify with a few more rounds. So it looks to me like there's a completion of this Ten of Wands for this privileged lady. Somebody's in regret. There is a relationship ending. It's done. It's over. There's an official person putting this thief in a coffin on the distant horizons, or bringing about an ending to this whole thing. This official person, yeah. So you're very grateful for this. It's over, and this official person is making sure that this thief fails. This official person, or this official person is a thief who winds up in a coffin on the distant horizons. Maybe they failed. Maybe it's this official person who is this mature man who thought it was real funny that this privileged lady was in a Ten of Wands, and now they're in regret. Imagination, a fantasy that she was able to persevere through. And now they're worried, and they're suffering loneliness, and they're in fear because love and trust are here, making a return. And this is over. This is over. Going to be able to move forward into a circumstance that's trustworthy, where you don't have to worry about somebody forging documents saying you're married or whatever, which is a lie. And it's like, wow, you got the Hierophant involved, man. What you doing? They were forging contracts, and they thought they were going to get away with it, but the Hierophant's here in the spiritual court, and he's in there, and it's like, what? Say what, homie? Let me see that documentation again. Now they're being restricted. Wow, that's really obvious. They were forging documents. They were committing fraud. They're under judgment. Yeah, they committed fraud against this main female. They said that they were married to her, but they were never her lover. She didn't even know him, probably. They're under adjudication. They're getting a message of concern. The court knows exactly what was going on regarding this so-called commitment. They were never lovers. If there ever was a marriage, it wasn't ever consummated. They're feeling overwhelmed with this restriction. This main female was able to grow and expand, knowing that everything happens in divine order. This Hierophant is here, and it looks to me like he's making sure that this main female isn't going to be suffering any more despair from those who are guilty of being envious of her. And they're broken. They're feeling broken and shattered. They're under judgment. They were deceptive. They entered into a contract, but they were never this person's lover. It could be that this contract was fraudulent, because you got fraud here. Fraud. They committed fraud against an innocent person. They said that they were married to this person, and they never were. They never were. It was fraud. There was never any business. Like business, this is unfinished business. There was never any business between them. They're facing poverty. There's strong friendships here for this innocent person. Somebody feels that this person is irreplaceable, and they want to have a conversation with her. A friend, somebody who's already a friend, perhaps, feels that you're irreplaceable. Yeah, they forged a freaking contract and trying to trap you. Wow, but you got strong friendship looking out for you. You got this Queen of Swords. There's a Queen of Swords here. Or you are a Queen of Swords who has a sudden wealth. And there was never a relationship. There was never a relationship with that person. They forged documentation. This mature man forged documentation, and he thought it was funny. He thought this was all funny. But now he's in a tower because the documents are false. They were forgeries. And he did it all so that he could put this privileged lady into a 10 of 1. She had to carry a heavy, heavy load. And there was no contract. It was a fraud. There was never an agreement. There was never a relationship. There was never nothing. Wow, man. There was never a relationship with that mature man. But she is going to enter into an inseparable union, and it's too late to take action against it. This Queen of Swords has sudden wealth and has an inseparable union. This person who feels that she's irreplaceable wants to have a conversation. There could be a friendship. It's a strong friendship. They're inseparable. There was never a relationship with this mature man. His lies and his fraudulent documentation are in the courthouse. He's under judgment for that. He thought it was funny. He thought it was funny to put this privileged lady in a 10 of Wands over fraudulent documents. She's an innocent person. Doesn't even know this person. She could have suffered poverty. Oh, he's reminiscing. Reminiscing about what? She never knew you. She is moving into a relationship, though. She's got him right here. Strong friendship. He feels she's irreplaceable, and she's moving into that. And this person did not, they're exhausted and giving up. They did not have any success. There was fraudulent freaking wedding documents filed. They're under adjudication for this. Wow. Oh, but I'm reminiscing. It was funny. To hear him say he was reminiscing about that is funny because it never happened. It's humorous. It's like reminiscing about what, Jack? It never happened. That's a fantasy. That's a daydream. It never happened. They're in regret. They feel unappreciated. This is the end, the completion of this privileged lady's burden. She's moving on to calmer waters. She's thankful. She's a very thankful person. And she's very satisfied with that. She's satisfied, and she has gratitude. On the distant horizons, this thief winds up in a coffin. Could be an official person who failed to bind this privileged lady again. Or at all, with these fraudulent documents. There's an understanding, and they're being detached. They had hope. They had hope of connecting with you, but they wanted a third-party situation. You're entering into a reunion, a soul contract. It's right here. If you are the main female, please again do whatever you need to do with the genders, but you got the main female, the privileged lady. Yeah, this mature man got busted. He did fraudulent freaking wedding contract against this person. Freaking amazing. So that he could have a legal document saying he could put this burden onto her. Collective energy, please. Spirit, collective energy. What's going on? What does the collective need to know? Please and thank you. Thank you. We got Soldier in the reverse. Unsuccessful. Can't fight it. Exhausted. Giving up. This main female is entering into an actual contract. This person had a fraudulent contract. This person had filed fraudulent commitment contracts into court system, and they've been busted. And this main female is actually entering into a union because that has been ironed out. There was no contract. That was a lie. They're in sorrow now. Sorrow because they were found to be fraudulent documents. Yeah, misfortune. And there's some old woman involved. They're overwhelmed. They're mentally restricted. They could be mentally restricted. Like they may not be able to use their telepathy or their third eye or their astral traveling. I mean, it could be that they're losing their their ability to maintain knowledge. Maybe their memory is depleted. They're seeking consolation. They want forgiveness for the work and the labor that they did against this person, for lying in court, for creating fraudulent documents against an innocent person who doesn't even know who they are. This could be in the spirit, in the ethers. Somebody's trying to forge contracts. Because they want the house that belongs to this main female. They're getting a message. Yeah, there's no despair here. This Hierophant's here. He's like, no, that's not the way this is going to go. Okay, you're getting a message. There is a message about this house here. No despair. No despair. The Hierophant's here. They're guilty. They're envious. They're feeling broken. They're under judgment for committing fraud against an innocent person. Business is over. They cannot come after this person any longer. They're facing poverty. Yeah, they came after this sweetheart for the money. They forged documentations to take the house and the money out of this person's life. This is happening in the ethers. They wanted to strip this person of their spiritual fortune. And now they're in poverty. This main female has a strong friendship here with somebody who feels that she is irreplaceable. They want to hear her voice and have a conversation with her. They'd like to be able to have a conversation and have some fun, laugh, joke, talk. Queen of Swords is here, very cold, very direct regarding this sudden wealth. Entering into an inseparable union. Our love is always there despite the distance. Time is here. I'm afraid it's too late to take any action. There was never a relationship with that person. They weren't very disciplined in whatever it was they had going on with their fraud scheme. They weren't very disciplined. There was no relationship. It's very easy to see. The lens is the lens that everybody's looking through. There's fraudulent documents being seen in the court. Death. 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 Tower for this mature man. Him reminiscing about our relationship is funny. That's humorous because there was never a relationship. That was all fraud. Whatever story he spun was laughable. Doctor. He needs to go see the doctor. He's got a tower in his life, total upheaval. His life is in chaos. The lens is looking through. So there was never any relationship. They did it. They committed fraud with no discipline, and so that contract is over. It's dead in the water. And there's a tower here for him. He needs to go see the doctor. And it's funny, it's humorous that he would say, "I miss our inside jokes," because there was never any inside jokes, unless he was thinking about his wife. Maybe he was thinking it was humorous with his wife. They were joking about all this, thinking how funny it was, how they were going to go in and strip this privileged lady of her spiritual inheritance in the ethers by committing fraud. by filing fraudulent documents in the spiritual courts. They're in regret. They're in regret. They're in regret. So this is a completion of this Ten of Wands for this privileged lady. And there's joyfulness here. And then you've got wife too. So there's joyfulness. There's a wedding. There's a wedding. There's a wedding. Somebody finds you irreplaceable. There's a coming together. There's a wife. This privileged lady, somebody already, they're fighting hard for her. There's fraudulent documents. Think about all the research that had to go into this. Yeah, this mature man is feeling unappreciated. They're in total regret. They got to see the doctor. They're in a tower. Everything's totally messed up. This privileged lady is moving on to calmer waters. She has an attitude of gratitude, and she's very satisfied with the outcome. There's a journey here. Somebody's taking a journey. Somebody's taking a journey. Now, you can look at journey in two different ways. It could be this privileged lady moving on down the road, going somewhere, taking a journey, transitioning, moving on, going to calmer waters, or leaving behind this baggage. Or you could look at the journey as an actual transition, because on the distant horizons, this thief is entering a coffin. It's an official person who failed at doing whatever it was they're doing. So there's a journey here, whether it's her moving somewhere, and she is moving somewhere. She's moving on from all of this garbage, and so is a thief. They're splitting, they're going their separate ways. This foe who claimed to be a lover, and said that you were wed. They lied, and now they're facing prison. They're a scholar. They could be a lord, and they're in for a surprise because you are being reunited. And there's going to be an invitation or a letter. Somebody's hottie doing something in a room. This young woman with a priest serving some merchant, a thief, cheerfully waiting. But they're going to get sick and they're in despair. Oh, and we got widower for the enemy and melancholy. Oh, holy Toledo. Collective energies, please, Spirit. Collective energies. Oh, eternal love. Main female. Yes, I will tell this story as many times as Spirit chooses to tell it. Main female, you're entering into this beautiful family of eternal love. Spirit wants to continuously remind this main female that she's got something to look forward to. You can be certain I am going to tell the story. Yeah, this is over. It's ending. On the bottom of the deck, you got death here. This soldier can't fight anymore. They were not successful coming against this union. They're exhausted. They have to give up. Their confidence is broken. There's an old woman here in the challenge position who's suffering a misfortune. The house is on fire. She's suffering a great sorrow. They forged documentation regarding a commitment. They're under adjudication for this. And the court knows exactly what they're going to do about it. There was never a love affair. That was fraudulent documentation. Yeah, there was never a vow. There was never a vow. It was fraudulent. And so everything that they had piled onto this privileged lady, it was all fraud. In the previous cycle or whatever, they stole her spiritual inheritance. They forged documentation saying that she was their spouse or whatever, and it was all a lie. Her life could have been heck. in a big way because they committed fraud, and now they want to apologize. They want to be consoled. Oh, please forgive me. I'm overwhelmed and so stressed out by this. That's what they're feeling. I'm overwhelmed and so stressed out by this. I'm feeling mentally messed up by this. I mean, what do you care? After what they did, why are they coming to you overwhelmed, expecting you to console them? I mean, this is wild to me. When they worked so hard to commit, and they did commit fraud against you, and they worked hard to put you in a 10 of Wands. There was never a promise. There was never a promise made. There was never a vow. There was never a love relationship. It was all fraud. And they feel broken and shattered by this. They were envious of what your spiritual fortune, and they committed fraud in the spiritual courts. The Hierophant is here right now to put an end to this despair. Okay, you're going to get a message. You're going to get a house, or you may be in a house. You may have recently moved to a new house. They fell into a trap. They're trapped. They're trapped. They've been found guilty of committing fraud in the courthouses. They're under judgment, under adjudication. There's indecision in the reverse. The court knows exactly what it's going to do about this. They came against this innocent person, this sweetheart, for the money. In the spiritual courts, they committed fraud. And they're facing confinement and poverty. You have a strong friendship with somebody who wants to hear your voice. They want to have a good time with you. You're strong. You're strong. You're strong. He's strong. You're all strong. And you got a strong friendship too. And it's like, woo, the way you love can never be matched, darling. Yeah. These ones are in poverty. They fell into a trap. They fell into a trap that they created for themselves by committing fraud. Wild. Who would have thought fraud didn't pay? So now you have an irreplaceable, eternal love that's inseparable. 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 There's no fright. There's no reason to be afraid of this. There was never a relationship. There was never a disciplined relationship with this mature man, and it's over. It's dead in the water, in the courthouse, and this mature man is in a tower. He might have been trying to lie, or maybe he just misses laughing with whoever his. He was laughing with whoever his wife is, reminiscing about the jokes. They found it really humorous to come against this sweetheart. And now he's suffering a tower. He needs to go to the doctor. They're in regret. They feel unappreciated. They feel unappreciated because what? Because Heavenly Father bestowed a spiritual fortune on this privileged lady, and they felt unappreciated, so they decided to take it from her. And they forged documents. And these all came out in the reverse. So they might be losing their memory. Yeah, here we got the mental restriction. So they might be losing their memory. And they couldn't cause this privileged lady to be homeless, or cast away. There's joyfulness here. There's a celebration. There's a celebration because she's not cast away. She is not cast away, and she's going to become wife. Boom, shakalaka. Somebody sees her as wife material. And then you got obedience in the and advice and knowledge and coach in the reverse. So it could be that they went against the grain, or it could be that this privileged lady didn't know anything. Like maybe she was never taught anything. She could have been put into a situation where, that she didn't have a privileged life. This privileged lady didn't have a privileged life. She had a 10 of wands. She had a lot of burdens that she had to undergo because somebody who was not family committed fraud and said that they were. Somebody who was not family committed fraud and said that she was their wife, and they dumped a whole bunch of crap onto her while they siphoned her spiritual inheritance. Their masks are all off. All their masks came off and they failed. All their masks came off. And we got conflict in the reverse. So conflict is over. There's no more fighting about this. There's no more collaborating about this. There's no more causing danger or issues for this woman to have to survive. Please, again, do whatever you need to do with the genders. Because they survived and they triumphed over this situation. And this is the completion. It's a completion. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and shut this one off, everybody. I'll see you on the next one.